y'all doing the Vagina Monologues. And I'm filling in for Don Elwood, who is normally here. I don't usually carry my phone up here, but it'll make sense in just a minute. So I don't think I'm one of those, kind of phone sort of people. So just a little bit of a history for you. We actually started performing this piece. Actually, I was not in the very original cast. And our mentor, director, and leader, Vicki Elwood, brought the Vagina Monologues to La Crosse from Eve Ensler's production on Broadway, and her book was the original. And then she started as a one-woman show. And then it sort of took off, and it turned into a whole movement. And if you just will Google when you leave here, V-Day organization, you will see that this group has been involved in so many different locations. They've been on the ground in Bangladesh, in Japan. If you Google the Comfort Women, it's a phenomenal story of the women in Japan who were kept as sexual slaves for the soldiers and who demanded an apology from the Japanese government because they were getting older and they were dying. And they needed to be recognized and they needed to be validated, and they wanted that apology. And the V-Day supporters and the V-Day group actually were involved, and they got it. So that was amazing. When Katrina hit New Orleans, the V-Day supporters and organization were on the ground. They've been on the ground in Haiti. They have a school called City of Joy in the Congo, and that's sort of their baby. You'll hear tonight how they're still, to this day, even in America and even in our close cities, female genital mutilation still goes on. Honor killings still occur. Women in the Middle East are still having acid thrown in their face. But there are people on the ground that are fighting those things. Women are becoming more and more empowered every single day. They're refusing to be held down, refusing to be oppressed, refusing to be told, you can't do this and you can't be that. And this organization supports that empowerment. And one of their key terms is solidarity. Solidarity not just as women, but in any group of people can be supported. One of the things as a nurse that we used to say was that as a nurse we eat our young. And unfortunately, that's true a lot of times with women. Women tend to tear another woman down. And that's not what this organization is about. It's a solidarity issue. So tonight, as you listen to these pieces are based on fact. They're based on the stories of real women. That Eve Ensler went around the country and spoke to these women. So I'd like for you to listen to these pieces with an open heart and with an open mind. Take it away and think about how you can help be part of that movement. One of the things that I wanted to share, and the reason that I have the phone, because I didn't have time to write it down, I probably apologize for that, is that there are 10 principles, the guiding principles for the City of Joy in the Congo. The first, and these are fitting for everyday life, whether you're in kindergarten as a teacher and guiding your students, you're a mother, a father, an administrator, the CEO of a company, or just in everyday life, no matter what you do, these principles can teach us all something about how we should live. Number 1 is to tell the truth. Number 2, stop waiting to be rescued. Take initiative. Number 3, know your rights. Number 4, raise your voice. Number 5, share what you've learned. 6, give what you want the most. 7, feel and tell the truth about what you've been through. Think about that for a second. Feel and tell the truth about what you've been through. And do it in hopes that there's no shame. 8, use it to fuel a revolution. 9, practice kindness. And 10, treat your sister's life as if it were your own. I'm going to leave you with that, but I do want to say, the show is a great time. There's a lot of intimate details. It's funny, it's powerful, it's sad, it's thought-provoking, it's empowering, it's knowledge. We want you to have a good time. We want you to be involved. If you want to clap, if you want to stand up, if you want to laugh, if you want to holler back, we're here. We're happy to have that. I do ask that you would just silence your cell phones. And we appreciate you coming. Hope you enjoy the show, and please stick around afterward for questions if you have anything. Thanks so much. I bet you're worried.
We were worried.
We were worried about
vaginas. We were worried about what we think about vaginas, and even more worried what we don't think about them. We were worried about our own vaginas. They needed a context of other vaginas, a community, a culture of vaginas. There's so much darkness and secrecy surrounding them, like the Bermuda Triangle, and nobody ever reports back from there.
In the first place, it's not so easy to even find your vagina. Women go weeks, months, years without looking at theirs. A hot-collar businesswoman was interviewed, and she said she was too busy. She didn't have the time. Looking at your vagina, she said, is a full day's work. You have to get down there, on the ground, on your back, in front of a mirror, full length preferred. Then you've got to get in the perfect position. And then you have to have the perfect light, which is somehow shadowed by the mirror or the position you're in. And then you get all twisted up. You're crooking your neck, feeling your back. You're exhausted by then. She said she didn't have time for that. She was too busy.
So there were vagina interviews, which became the Vagina Monologues. Over 200 women were interviewed. These were older women and younger women. They were married women, lesbians, single women, college professors, and actors. They were professionals and sex workers, African American women, Asian American women, Hispanic women, and Native American women, Caucasian women, and Jewish women too. Okay, at first, women were a little reluctant to talk about this. But once they got going, you couldn't stop them. You see, secretly, women love to talk about their vaginas. They really do. They get pretty excited because no one has ever asked them before.
Let's just start with the word vagina. It sounds like an infection at best. Maybe a medical instrument. Hurry, nurse, bring me the vagina. Vagina, vagina. Doesn't matter how many times you say it, it never sounds like a word you want to say. It's a totally ridiculous, completely unsexy word. If you use it during sex, trying to be politically correct. Darling, would you stroke my vagina? You kill the act right there.
We were worried about vaginas, what we call them and what we don't call them.
They call them pussycats. A woman there said her mother used to tell her, don't wear your panties underneath your pajamas, dear. You need to air out your pussycat.
In Westchester, New York, they called it a boogie. In New Jersey, a twat.
There's powderbox, a poochie, a poopy, a pee-pee, a poopaloo, a poonin, a pal, and a pee.
Toady, Dee-dee, Nishi, Dignity, Monkey Box.
Coochie snorcher, cootie, lady.
Gladys Siegelman.
pajama, fanny boo, mushmallow.
Ogule, posible, totita, tamale, kani.
Me in Miami.
A split dish in Philadelphia and a schmezzy in the Bronx.
Campbellton.
Then there's little Miss Mary, a 102-year-old patient of mine. She called hers her coin purse. Ain't that just fine?
In the daycare, we call it a shwee shwee. Poodle.
Yo, snatch.
Sugar bowl.
My husband and I call it the JJ.
And the ever lyrical, soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur, happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr.
I much prefer a hot box.
Thumbelina.
Here in Wisconsin, we call it a beaver.
Hey, Taco Grande.
A pussy and you're not grabbing mine.
Some of the monologues are based on one woman's story, and some of the monologues are based on several women's stories, surrounding the same theme, and sometimes a good idea became an outrageous one. This monologue is based on one woman's story, although the subject came up in every interview and was often fraught. The subject being hair.
You cannot love a vagina unless you love hair. Many people do not love hair. My first and only husband hated hair. He thought it was cluttered and dirty. He made me shave my vagina. It looked puffy and exposed and like a little girl. This excited him. When we made love, my vagina felt the way a beard must feel. It felt good to rub it, and painful. Oh, it was like scratching a mosquito bite. It felt like it was on fire. Oh, there were screaming red bumps. Oh, I refused to shave it anymore. Then my husband had an affair. When we went to marital therapy, he said he screwed around because I wouldn't please him sexually. I wouldn't shave my vagina. The therapist spoke with a thick German accent and gasped in between sentences to show her empathy. She said, "Why don't you want to please your husband?" I told her I thought it was weird. I felt little when there was no hair down there, and I couldn't help talking in a baby voice. and the skin got all irritated, and even calamine lotion wouldn't help it. She said, Marriage is a compromise. I asked her if shaving my vagina would make him stop screwing around. I asked her if she'd had many cases like this before. She said, questions only dilute the process. I needed to jump in. She was sure this was going to be a good beginning. Then later, when we got home, he got to shave my vagina. It was like a therapy bonus prize. He clipped it a little bit, and there was a little blood in the bathtub. Oh, but he didn't even notice because he was so happy shaving me. Then later, when he was pressing against me, I could feel its spiky sharpness sticking into me. My poor, naked, puffy vagina. There was no protection. There was no fluff. It was then that I realized hair is there for a reason. It's the leaf around a flower. It's the lawn around the house. You have to love hair in order to love the vagina. You can't pick the parts you want. And besides, my husband never stopped screwing around.
A group of women between the ages of 65 and 75 was interviewed. These interviews were probably the most poignant. That's because these women had definitely not had a vagina interview before. One woman who was 72 had never even seen her vagina. Oh, she washed it in the bath, but never with any conscious intention. And she had never had an orgasm. So at 72, she went into therapy like they do in New York. And one day she came home, she lit some candles, played some music, got in the bath, and she got down with herself. Now she says it took her over an hour because she's arthritic. When she finally found her clitoris, she cried. This monologue is for her.
Down there? I haven't been down there since 1953. No, it didn't have anything to do with Eisenhower. No, it's a feather down there. It's damp and clammy. You don't want to go down there. No, trust me, you'd get sick. Suffocating, very nauseating. The smell of the clamminess and the mildew and everything. Oh, smells unbearable. Gets in your clothes. No, there was no accident down there. It didn't blow up or catch on fire or anything. It just wasn't so dramatic. Well, I mean, just never mind. Never mind. I can't talk to you about this. What's a smart girl like you going around talking to old ladies about their down there's for? Well, I didn't do this kind of thing when I was a girl. What? Okay. Okay. There was this boy. Emil Levkov. He was so cute. Well, I thought so. And you know it's just there. It's like the cellar. It rumbles down there. You can hear the pipes and the fins, the lands and things. And things get wet. And sometimes people just have to plug up the leaks. Otherwise, the door stays closed. You forget about it. I mean, it's a part of the house, but you don't see or think about it. It has to be there, though, because every house needs a cellar. Otherwise, the bedroom would be in the basement. Oh, yeah. Andy left. Yeah, he was very good looking. He was a catch. Well, that's what they used to call it in my day. We were in his car in a new white Chevy Bel Air. And then he just kissed me in this surprisingly take me by control, like they do in the movies kind of way. And I got so excited. I just got so excited. Well, there was a flood down there. I couldn't control it. It was like this force of passion, this river of life just flooded out of me. Right through my panties, right into the car seat of his new white Chevy Bel Air. It wasn't heat, and it wasn't smelly. Well, frankly, I didn't really smell anything at all, but he said, Andy said, that it smelled like sour milk, and it was staining his car seat. I was a stinky, weird girl. I wanted to explain that his kiss had caught me off guard, and that I wasn't normally like this. I tried to wipe the flood, off from under my dress. It was a new yellow primrose dress, and it looked so ugly with the flood on it. Andy drove me home without saying another word. And when I got out and I closed his car door, I closed the whole store. I locked it. Never opened it up for business again. I dated some after that, but the idea of flooding, it just made me too nervous. I never even got close again. Yeah. I used to have dreams. Crazy dreams. It's dopey. They're dopey. What? Why? Burt Reynolds! I don't know why. He never did much for me in life, but in my dreams, it was Burt and I. Oh, it was always the same general dream. We were out, Bert and I, and it was like some restaurant just about everything connected with down there. They moved out the uterus, the tubes, and the whole works. The doctor, he thought he was being funny, told me, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. But really, when I found out it was cancer, and everything had to go. Who needs it anyway? Highly overrated. I've done other things. I love the dog shows. I sell antiques. You asked me what would it wear? What kind of a question is that? What would it wear? It would wear a big sign, "Hallows due to flooding." What would it say? I told you it's not like that. It's not a person who speaks. It stopped being a thing that talked long ago. It's a place. A place you don't go. It's closed up under the house. It's down there. You happy? You happy? Well, you made me talk. You got it out of me. You got an old lady to talk about her down there. You feel better now? You know, actually, you're the first person I ever told about this. And I feel better.
All of the women interviewed were asked the following questions. If your vagina got dressed, what would it be?
Glasses. Great. Leather jacket. Silk stockings. And paintball.
A male tuxedo. Jeans. Something form-fitting.
Emeralds, sequins, an evening gown.
Armani only.
Tutu. See-through black underwear. Taffeta ball gown.
Something machine washable.
A costume eye mask. Purple velvet pajamas. Angora. A Red Bull. Ermine and pearls. A leopard hat. A silk kimono. Sweatpants. A tattoo.
An electrical shock device to keep unwanted strangers away.
High heels. Lace and combat boots. Purple feathers, twigs and shells. Cotton.
A pinafore. A bikini. A slicker, 'cause it's wet.
So if your vagina could talk, what would it say? 2 words.
Slow down!
We
Feed me. I want. Yum, yum. Oh, yeah.
Start again. No, over there. Stay home. Brave choice.
Think again. More, please. Embrace me. Let's play.
Don't stop!
Remember me?
Inside. Not yet. Whoa, Mama. Yes. Yes. Rock me! Oh, God.
Enter at your own risk.
Oh, God! Thank God! I'm here! Let's do it! Let's do it! Cry
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Bonjour. Too hard. Don't give up. Where's Brian? That's it. Yeah, that's better. You got it. Oh!
My short skirt. It is not an invitation, a provocation, an indication that I want it or give it, or that I hook. My short is not begging for it. It does not want you to rip it off me or pull it down. My short skirt is not a legal reason for raping me. Although it has been before, it will not hold up in the new court. Woo! My short skirt, believe it or not, has nothing to do with you. My short skirt is about discovering the power of my lower calves, about cool autumn air traveling up my inner thighs, about allowing everything I see or pass or feel to live inside. My short skirt is not proof that I'm stupid or undecided or a malleable little girl. My short skirt is my defiance. I will not let you make me afraid. My short skirt's not showing off. This is who I am before you made me tone it down or cover it up. Get used to it. My short skirt is happiness. I can feel myself on the ground. I am here. I am hot. My short skirt is a liberation flag in the women's army. I declare these streets, any streets, my vagina's country. My short skirt is turquoise water with swimming colored fish, a summer festival, a bird calling, a train arriving in a foreign town. My short skirt is a wild spin, a deep breath, a tango dip. My short skirt is initiation, appreciation, excitation. But mainly, my short skirt and everything under it is mine. Mine. Mine.
Woo! Feed me. I want. Yum, yum. Oh, yeah.
Start again. No, over there. Stay home. Brave choice.
Think again. More, please. Embrace me. Let's play.
Don't stop!
Remember me?
Inside. Not yet. Whoa, Mama. Yes. Yes. Rock me! Oh, God.
Enter at your own risk.
Oh, God! Thank God! I'm here! Let's do it! Let's do it! Cry
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Bonjour. Too hard. Don't give up. Where's Brian? That's it. Oh, yeah, that's better. You got it. Oh!
My short skirt. It is not an invitation, a provocation, an indication that I want it or give it, or that I hook. My short is not begging for it. It does not want you to rip it off me or pull it down. My short skirt is not a legal reason for raping me. Although it has been before, it will not hold up in the new court. My short skirt, believe it or not, has nothing to do with you. My short skirt is about discovering the power of my lower calves, about cool autumn air traveling up my inner thighs, about allowing everything I see or pass or feel to live inside. My short skirt is not proof that I'm stupid or undecided or a malleable little girl. My short skirt is my defiance. I will not let you make me afraid. My short skirt's not showing off. This is who I am before you made me tone it down or cover it up. Get used to it. My short skirt is happiness. I can feel myself on the ground. I am here. I am hot. My short skirt is a liberation flag in the women's army. I declare these streets, any streets, my vagina's country. My short skirt is turquoise water with swimming colored fish, a summer festival, a bird calling, a train arriving in a foreign town. My short skirt is a wild spin, a deep breath, a tango dip. My short skirt is initiation, appreciation, excitation. But mainly, my short skirt and everything under it is mine. 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 Woo! Yeah.
Okay, this is a vagina happy fact. This is from the book Woman and Intimate Geography by Natalie and Jay. The clitoris is pure in purpose. It is the only organ in the body designed purely for pleasure. The clitoris is simply a bundle of nerves, but 8,000 nerve fibers to be exact. That happens to be more than is found anyplace else in the female body, including the lips, the fingertips, or the tongue. And oh, by the way, it is twice, that's right, twice the number found in the penis. It's a sedan when you already drive a sports car.
I came to love my vagina. Well, it didn't happen in the usual way. I mean, I wasn't in a bath with salts from the Dead Sea and Enya playing in the background and loving up my woman self. I know the story. Vaginas are beautiful. Vaginas are beautiful. Vaginas are beautiful. Pussies unite! I mean, if we were all raised in a culture where fat thighs were beautiful, we'd all be pounding down milkshakes, eating Krispy Kremes, laying back in our recliners, just thigh expanded. But that wasn't how we were raised. Well, that certainly wasn't how I was raised. I hated my fat thighs, and I hated my vagina even more. I pitied anybody that had to go down there. I was one of these people that did look at it. And no, it was not an easy feat. The second I saw it, I thought it was extremely ugly. I used to pretend there was something else down there. Furniture. Cozy futons, light cotton comforters, little heart-shaped pink velvet settees, a leopard rug, or pretty things, like a silk scarf, quilted potholder. Place settings, beautiful place settings. Anytime I was with a man, I'd picture him all wrapped up in a mink muffler. Or face first, in a big old bowl of buttered noodles. I got so used to this, I forgot I even had a vagina. Then I met Bob. Bob. He was probably the most, well, ordinary man I've ever met. He was tall and thin. He wore khaki pants and khaki clothes. He didn't like spicy foods. He didn't really drive fast. He didn't listen to Prince. You know, he didn't share his inner feelings. He wasn't funny or charismatic. God, I didn't even really like Bob. You know, I wouldn't have noticed him at all if I hadn't have dropped my change all over the floor of the Quick Trip. He bent down to help me pick it up, and his hand touched my hand. Something happened. Well, I slept with him. Turns out Bob loves vaginas. God, he loves everything about them. He likes how they feel, how they smell, how they taste, and he especially likes how they look. I mean, he had to look at it. The first time we were together, he said, "Ooh, I want to see you." Well, Bob, here I am. I said, "No, I really want to see you." Oh, for Christ's sakes, Bob, all right. I'm right here. Look away. I said, "No, I really want to see you. It's who you are." And I thought, oh, for Christ's sakes, turn the light on, Bob. He's either blind as a bat or he's afraid of the dark. So he turned on the light and he said, "Okay, I'm ready. I want to see you." I was like, "I'm right here, Bob." "No, I want to see you." "Oh, for Christ's sakes, Bob, can't you just do it?" He said, "No, I need to see you." Bob, I mean, God, stop, Bob. I mean, you've seen a red leather couch before, haven't you, Bob? "I need to see you." Oh, God. Felt like I was going to throw up. I laid back, watching him look at me. I started getting all breathy. Pretty soon, he didn't look ordinary anymore. I watched him, he just kept looking. And he said, "You're so beautiful. You're sexy and creative and wild and free." I was like, "You can see all that down there?" He was like he was reading my poem. But it was my vagina. You know, he laid there What he looked like he was reading a map or like studying the moon or like looking into my eyes all lovingly. But it was my vagina! Suddenly, I started getting all breathy and hot. I started feeling beautiful. I started seeing myself the way Bob saw me. Man, it turned me on. I started to swell. And Bob, he was lost there. And I was right there with him in my vagina. And both of us, we were just gone.
Unfortunately, this is a not so happy fact found in UNICEF's 2005 report, Female Genital Mutilation and Cutting, a Statistical Exploration. Female genital mutilation has been inflicted on approximately 130 million young girls and women. In the 28 countries where it is practiced, mostly in Africa, about 3 million young girls a year can expect the knife or the razor or a glass shard to cut their clitoris or remove it altogether. In a man, it would range from amputation of most of the penis to removal of all penis. Short-term results include tetanus, hemorrhages, cuts in the urethra, bladder, and vaginal walls. Long-term, chronic uterine infection, increased agony and danger during childbirth, and early death. Bosnian women refugees were interviewed during the war in Yugoslavia in refugee camps and centers. 20 to 70,000 women were raped in the middle of Europe as a systematic tactic of war. It was shocking to see how little people did to stop it. Then again, in the United States each year, 200,000 women are raped. And that's a different kind of war. This monologue is based on one woman's story. We do it tonight for that woman and the extraordinary women of Bosnia and Kosovo. My vagina was my village.
My vagina was green, water-soft pink fields, cow mooing, sun resting, sweet boyfriend touching lightly with soft piece of blonde straw.
There is something between my legs. I do not know what it is. I do not know where it is. I do not touch, not now, not anymore, not since.
My vagina was chatty, can't wait, so much, saying words, talking, can't quit trying, can't quit saying, oh yes, oh yes.
Not since I dreamed there's a dead animal sewn in down there with thick black fishing line, and the bad dead animal smell cannot be removed, and its throat is slit, and it bleeds through all my summer dresses.
My vagina, singing all girls' songs, all goat bell ringing songs, wild autumn field songs, vagina home songs.
Not since the soldiers put a long, thick rifle inside me. So cold, the steel rod canceling my heart. Don't know whether they're going to fire it or shove it through my spinning brain. 6 of them, monstrous doctors with black masks, shoving bottles up me too. There were sticks and the end of a broom.
My vagina, swimming river water, clean spilling water over sun-baked stones, stone clit stone, over and over.
Not since I heard the skin tear and made lemming screeching sounds. Not since a piece of my vagina came off in my hand, a part of the lip. Now one side of the lip is completely gone.
My vagina, a live, wet water village. My vagina, my hometown.
Not since they took turns for 7 days, smelling like feces and smoked meat. They left their dirty sperm inside me. I became a river of poison and pus, and all the crops died, and the fish.
My vagina, a live, wet water village. They invaded it, butchered it, and burned it down. I do not touch now. Do not visit. I live someplace else now. I don't know where that is.
This next monologue is based on interviews by Eve Ensler with women from the Ogallala Lakota Nation on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. Their stories reflect the challenges that Native women face every single day, living in isolation and without resources. According to the U.S. Bureau of Justice Statistics, the average annual rate of rape and sexual assault among American Indian women is 3.5 times higher than any other race.
I wanted to go out. He said, you stay home. I said, I wanted to go out. He said, you have a baby. I said, it's our baby. I laid the baby down. He probably felt my tension because he was whimpering the baby. I looked up and he slapped me, my husband. Not a blast that knocks your eyes blue. That came later. It was a smack, a hard domestic smack. And he looked at me. He was smiling. I couldn't believe it. He was smiling. He slapped me again. His dad was vicious to his mother. I saw him smile. What was that? He was the nicest person. His long black hair, combing his long hair. When we made love, got loose before. He took me to dinner, made me go out with his boss. I didn't want to go. He kicked me under the table, told me to look happy, told me to smile. I smiled. He kicked me again, asked me, who are you trying to fuck? Stop me to stop going on to everybody. Stop smiling. He kicked me again. And this went on and on. Outside the restaurant, he grabbed me, grabbed my hair, and he pulled me down to the curb. It had been snowing. And he buried me in the snow, pounded me in the gutter, The snow was melting. It was sloppy and mud. My hair felt like it was bleeding. And I ran too. He was drinking. I was too. I must have blacked out. I woke up in the hospital after 5 brain surgeries. My hair was gone. They'd shaved it off. I had to relearn to talk, to move my arms. It took me 4 months to remember how to cook breakfast. I remember putting the eggs in the frying pan with the bacon. I knew the egg felt right. Just didn't remember to crack it open. It's just an egg in a frying pan, in its shell. And my head was bald. After 18 years, he beat me in the morning. And then he was so nice again. And I would braid his long hair. I would take my time. Like I cared so much. And I would make it perfectly. I would make his hair stand up all crazy like. And then he'd go out forgetting that the bruises on my face were his hands. He'd walk out cocky in the street, macho in the road. But his braid would be so crooked. He looked so stupid. This shouldn't have made me happy. It really just should not have made me that happy. I heard he was out with a woman, making love. She was fluffing his hair when he was wild on her. He'd come home later, much later. His hair all braided up, right and tight. He'd passed out from drinking. Then I got up with the scissors. And I slowly walked toward him as he snored. And I just cut off the braid, completely off. And I put it in his hand so that when he woke up, he screamed, "What the fuck? I'm going to kill you!" And he jumped up. But I had tied his shoes together. I didn't go back to him for 3 years. Until his hair, I knew it had grown out. I didn't want to have sex with him. He was drunk. And I was just a piece of meat. That's all I was to him, a big hole. I tried to pretend I was asleep. He elbowed me, jerked me, pulled me up. I remember thinking, just get it over with. He was soft, and he just kept pumping and pumping until I got sore. I said, "It don't feel good." He said, "Who are you with? Was he bigger than me? Did you like it?" And you're like a mouse with a lion when you have to move fast to the door. But he picked me up. I was like a rag. His eyes were numb. I could see my son screaming. His mouth wide open. His tonsils. I could see his tonsils. My husband beat the shit out of me. He wrapped my long black hair around his hand, jerked my head. I tried to get my son. "That is not your son anymore," he said as he held my hand. "He's not your son anymore." Now he calls me in the middle of the night, weeping. He didn't mean to beat his wife. He didn't mean to batter her. He is suicidal. He knows what his mother went through, but he cannot stop. My son. They took our land. They took our ways. They took our men. And we want them back.
Loving vagina. Spending their days constructing psycho products and nasty ideas to undermine my pussy. Vagina motherfucker! All this shit they're constantly trying to shove up us. Shove it up, stuff it up, make it go away. Well, my vagina's not going away. It's pissed off and it's staying right here. Like tampons. What the hell is that? It's a dry wad of fucking cotton stuffed up there. Why can't they find a way to subtly lubricate the tampon? As soon as my vagina sees it, it goes into shock. Just forget it. Load it right up. You need to work with the vagina. Introduce it to things. Prepare the way. That's what foreplay is all about, by the way. You've got to convince my vagina. Engage my vagina's. Why the rubber gloves? The Nazi steel stirrups. And the mean, cold duck lips they shove. My vagina's angry about those visits. It's defensive weeks in advance. It won't go out of the house. And you finally get there. Don't you hate that? Scoot down. Relax. Relax. Why? So you can shove mean cold duck lips inside? I don't think so. Why can't they find some nice purple velvet? Wrap that around me, lay me down on some feathery cotton spread, put on some nice friendly pink or blue gloves, and rest my feet in some fur-covered stirrups. Warm up the duck lips. Work with my vagina. But no. More tortures. Dry wad fucking cotton. Mean, cold duck lips. And thong underwear. That's the worst. Who thought that? Moves around all the time, gets stuck in the back of your crusty butt. Vagina's supposed to be loose and wide, not held together. That's why spanks are so bad. Vaginas need to move, talk, talk and talk. Vaginas need comfort. Make something like that. Something to give them comfort. No. Wouldn't want to see that. Won't want women to be seen having pleasure, especially sexual pleasure. I mean, make a nice pair of soft cotton underwear with a French tickler built right in the coming in the supermarket, coming on the subway, coming in the theater. They wouldn't be able to take it. Seeing all of those hot, energized, not taking shit vaginas. Happy vaginas. If my vagina could talk, it would talk about itself like me. It would talk about other vaginas. It would do vagina impressions. You do know how to whistle, don't you? You just put your lips together and blow. It would wear Harry Winston diamonds. Nothing else. No clothing. Just there, all draped in diamonds. My vagina helped release a giant baby. It thought it would be doing more of that. It's not. Now it wants to travel. It doesn't want a lot of company. It wants to read and know things and get out more. It wants sex. It wants to go deeper. It's hungry for depth. It wants change. It wants kindness. It wants silence and freedom and warm liquids and deep touch. It wants chocolate. vagina wants to scream. It wants to stop being so angry. It wants to want. It wants. My vagina. My vagina. Well, it wants everything.